Topping today's news, a dispute turns deadly at a local night spot on Blue Hill Road. Agriculture and Food Safety Authority stepping up enforcement. The Bahamas sends a team to Jamaica to help with recovery efforts. And one family Junkanoo group breaking ranks and says it will rush on Boxing and New Year's Day. This is your JCN News. I'm Jorino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. A dispute turning deadly this morning at a local night spot on Blue Hill Road North. Police say shortly before 2 a.m., the dispute unfolded inside the establishment involving three men ages 21, 23, and 28. They were all stabbed. Outside the establishment, a man reportedly confronted and engaged an off-duty police officer, where a struggle ensued. The officer's service weapon was discharged, and a bullet grazed the man to the head. He, along with the men who were stabbed, were all transported to the hospital for medical treatment, but the 23-year-old male later died from his stab wounds, becoming the 71st person to lose their life to violence so far this year. Anytime a police officer is involved in a shooting incident, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, is notified. While on his way into Parliament this morning, Mr. Munro was asked to speak on that matter, which took place early this morning.
Aspect of criminal behavior is wrong, it's bad, and the police will investigate this. What is the source and the motivation behind it will come out, and then we'll put the matter before the court. And as we always say, we recruit from the population, and the law enforcement officers face the same challenges that other people in the public do, and they go where they do, and they're subject to the same things. And so the police will investigate, and then the police will find out as to the best ability what has happened, why it's happened. I don't get into operational policing. The police will investigate. The police will, at the end of the day, make a fulsome statement to the press before the matter proceeds further.
Police are also investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a 48-year-old man on Tuesday. Preliminary reports indicate that shortly before 8:30 p.m., officers acting on information responded to a residence on Bay Geranium Avenue, where they discovered an unresponsive male with an injury to the head inside a home. Initial information suggests that the deceased is suspected to be someone who was reported missing on Sunday, the 2nd of November. An autopsy will be conducted to assist in determining the exact cause of death. The Bahamas Agriculture and Health and Food Safety Authority says the opening of its new head office and mobile plant health laboratory on Crawford Street represents a significant stride towards ensuring safer food, cleaner water, and healthier agricultural practices nationwide. At the official opening on Monday, Director of Food Safety and Quality, Dr. Patricia Johnson, explains that her department is focused on inspecting food businesses, ensuring they comply with hygiene standards.
Food safety and quality looks extensively at the food chain from the farm to the fork. We look at all of the hygienic processes and procedures that persons use. In terms of food handlers, for example, we ensure that they are following best practices to make sure that the food is safe and healthy and wholesome for those who will consume the food. So what our primary job is to inspect the food businesses. And so we have lots of information that we can share with them so that they can prepare themselves or prepare their businesses beforehand before we come and may have to close them in some cases. But what we tend to do, if it's not a severe case, we give them improvement notices. So the inspection isn't an outright closure, but we may have to give you an improvement notice, and that helps you better where you have to just make a corrective action here or corrective action there.
Cracking down on roadside vendors selling food without registration or inspection, noting that the public education and partnership with other agencies will be key to expanding oversight. She said fewer than 10 businesses have been closed this year, but more inspections are being carried out as new staff and interagency partnerships come on stream.
But what we're there to do is to help educate these food businesses and these owners so that they can have all of the right processes in place to avoid closure. But what we found is persons have done what they need to do to get their businesses up and running. And that's what we want to repeat across the length and breadth of the Bahamas, not just here, but also on our family islands. We want our consumers to be assured and have the confidence that these businesses are doing what they need to do to make sure that when they eat, they're not going to have a foodborne illness, or something even worse happen to them.
Dr. Johnson reminded that registration with the Health and Food Safety Authority is mandatory for food and water operators. The agency's ongoing work aims to ensure that every meal and beverage consumed here in the Bahamas meets national safety standards. Following the devastation by Hurricane Melissa, including 57 deaths, widespread property damage, flooding, and loss of electricity, Jamaica is still trying to pull itself together. Today, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for disaster risk management, Leon Lundy, he will lead a delegation to Jamaica to render assistance.
The mission carries special importance, not only as part of the Bahamas' commitment to regional support, but also in my role as chairman of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, or CDEMA. It is vital that we stand shoulder to shoulder with our Caribbean neighbors in times of crisis, working together to restore lives and livelihood. Our efforts in Jamaica reflect the strength of the Caribbean unity, one region bound by resilience, compassion, and shared purpose. Together we recover, and together we will rebuild.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness estimates damage throughout Jamaica to be in the range of $6 billion. And finally, in this segment, the week began with memorial services for Drexel Wellington Gomez, the beloved Anglican bishop who served his country and the region faithfully for decades. Today, the body of His Grace lie in repose at St. Agnes Anglican Church. It precedes a state funeral which will take place on Thursday at Christ Church Cathedral at 11 a.m. Archbishop Gomez died on October 14th after a period of illness. He was 88 years old. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.